Welcome to today's mobility routine. Thanks for joining us here today. Let's take a second and get yourself nice and comfy on your mat. Take some attention to your breath. Find that nice relaxing rhythm and shape of breath. It helps your mind find calm. And let those calm, chill vibes just work their way through your whole body. Let's get some good diaphragmatic breaths there. Direct that air deep in around that diaphragm. And slowly let it all out through the nose. Feel free to count the duration of your breath. You might find that counting for a 3 count, followed by a quick hold, and then a 3 count out, and a 3 count hold can be helpful. It can be helpful to continually increase the duration as you work your way through the program. And that is completely optional. If you start counting your breath and you find counting just adds an element of anxiety or stress or anything uncomfortable or unpleasant, don't bother counting. Just let your breath shape itself. Find that nice rhythm of your breath that helps you relax. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll start today's routine on your left hip adductor. So let's work your way through that left side of your groin, inner thigh area. And we find this is best to work with your fingertips. If you prefer a foam roller, a kettlebell, or something harder, feel free to do that. We're going to demo the hands. And if we are using the hands, it is fairly active, can be tricky to get passive. We still want to make that effort to try to get as passive as we can while we work on this tissue. And just search through that tissue. Feel for anything that feels tight and tense. And then settle into the right amount of tension and pressure to start relieve that tension. And we should get zero numbness or pain or serious discomfort. Always be sensitive to how your body's responding. And allow yourself to find the version of this exercise that your body's going to benefit from today. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll start to transition into the right side. So working through that right side of your groin, hip adductor area. If you found a good target on your left, you might find a similar spot on your right is tight or tense or needs attention. And if not, feel free to keep searching. The muscles that attach to the hip can be really different. Hips are really prone to rotations and imbalances. And that might mean your muscles will feel different side to side. There's no reason to panic or get upset about it. It's normal. So keep working through that tissue. Settle into the right amount of pressure and tension. Maintain a nice calming, relaxed headspace. One of the best tools to find that is your breath. Maintain that nice, deep, long, relaxing shape of breath. It helps your mind relax, to help your body relax. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift our attention into left side TFL. So the TFL sits just to the outside of the crease of your hip. So we'll grab that lacrosse ball and lie the outside of your hip on top of that ball. Start with a quick search. Small change in angle and position can really change the stimulus here. Give yourself a chance to really feel out what your body needs. And once we're there, focus on getting as passive as you can in this position. Just run through a little checklist. Any muscle around those hips, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, anything that's carrying tension, just imagine breathing out that tension. Just let it all float away. Mentally living in your happy place. Relax those muscles in your face, your head, your neck, your traps. We'll take one more breath here. Let's slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll shift to the right side. So if you found a good spot on your left, feel free to start in that same area on the right. Just noticing if there are imbalances or differences, and just adjust accordingly. Feel out what is needed on this side. Settle into the right amount of pressure. Let that hip start to slowly settle down. Get nice and passive. And allow us for better movement. And the entire time, concentrating on getting good quality breaths, directing that air into the diaphragm and breathing through the nose when you can. Continually try to sync that breath with your target area. So you'll let go of air. Just imagine breathing out any tension, anxiety, stress. We'll take one more breath here. Let's slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll get into the left side pigeon. So stepping that left leg forward. Let that knee dip out to the lateral side. Trying to get your shin as flush with the floor as you can. And generally when we have that foot up tight to your chest, that will increase the sensation. You can also increase the sensation by straightening your back leg. Just feel out what feels right today. Once you've found the version of the stretch for you today, concentrate on getting passive, submitting to the position. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through this left side by attempting to press that left ankle into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension. Slowly ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Try to actively pull that ankle and chest closer together. Trying to pull yourself deeper into that stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Scan through your body, anything that's on that we don't need right now, just let it go. Settle back into your breath. Let's take one more good breath here. And as you sigh that breath out, we'll switch to the right side. So let's step that right leg forward, dip that knee out to the side, feeling for a stretch in that hip. And there should be zero discomfort in the knee. We can intensify the stretch in the hip by pulling that ankle a little closer up to your head, straightening that back leg. These are all just suggestions. None of them are required. It's really going to depend on what your body needs today. Once you've found the right version of stretch today, concentrate on getting comfortable and passive in the position. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through this right hip by attempting to press that right ankle in through the floor. And let's go ahead, starting with nice easy tension, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's give it a good squeeze here for last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, attempting to pull your hips further into that stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Finish with this big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, get nice and passive. Submit to the position, relax into the pose. Mentally go to your happy place. Turning off all those muscles that might be tense, that don't need to be. Let's take one more deep, good breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll transition into the left hip internal rotation. So we find this easiest to access if we start sitting upright. Your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Drop your knees off to the right. Stack your right foot on top of your left knee. And try to gently drop your left hip towards the mat. And if this is uncomfortable at all in the knee, just shuffle your position. You can increase or decrease the knee angle, the hip angle. We want to be feeling this pretty deep into that left hip. And there should be zero pain. And once you're into the version of the stretch that your body needs today, focus on getting nice and passive. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to press that left ankle into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, attempting to reverse that stretch. Slowly ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's attempt to reverse that. Trying to pull that left heel off the ground. Really giving a good squeeze, working our way up. Increasing that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Submit to the position. Go back to your mental checklist. Anything that's tight that doesn't need to be, just hit that off switch. Mentally go into your happy place. One more breath here. We'll sigh out that breath, and we'll switch to the right side. So again, sitting upright, knees at 90. Drop those knees off to your left. Stack your left foot on top of your right knee. And gently let that right hip start to work its way towards the mat. And being sensitive to how your knees are feeling here. We want this sensation all to be in the hip, or as much in the hip as possible. Find the version of this stretch that feels right for today. And then concentrate on getting passive. Just relax into the stretch. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by pressing that right heel into the floor. Let's go ahead, starting with easy tension. Attempting to reverse that stretch, ramping up tension as we go. Big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's attempt to reverse that. Attempting to pull that right heel up to the sky. Ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish for the big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Just submit to the position. Scan through your body. Anything that's tight or tense, just let it go. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath into that diaphragm. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And move into a squat stretch. So let's assume a squat width with your feet. For most people, that's about shoulder width. Let your hips sink down towards your ankles, getting as low as we can, pain-free. If you find you hit a painful spot, feel free to prop your hips up on a chair or a box or a pillow. Once we're there, get nice and passive, submit to the position, relax through those hips, the ankles. There are some leg muscles we need to hold this position, but there's a lot we don't. Relaxing through your face, through your core. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through the hips by attempting to push your knees away from your body. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, activating through the glutes. Attempting to reverse that stretch through the hips, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Attempting to pull your knees closer into your chest, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath there, relax, nice and passive. Submit to that position. Relax into the squat. And let's start to get active through the ankle. Let's press those balls of the feet into the floor. Attempting to reverse the stretch through the ankle, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, trying to pull your knees further over your toes, using those ankle muscles, your shin muscles, ramping up that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Settle back into your basic squat stretch. Relaxing through the ankles, through the hips. Let's take one more breath here. Let's sigh out that breath. And move into some left ankle circles. So let's lie flat on your back and firmly grab your left shin with your hands and just start moving that left ankle through its range of motion in circles. And start nice and easy. Just feel out your basic range. And as we work our way through this minute, being a tiny bit more aggressive in all of those corners of your ankles, making your whole lower limb work a little bit harder each rep. Slowly ramping up that tension. Spending extra time in areas that feel like they need attention. Let's really give a good squeeze here, last 10. Make those muscles work. And let's take a breath and we'll switch to the right side. So let's grab a hold of that right shin with your hands and start by moving that right foot and ankle through its full range of motion. And again, starting nice and easy, slowly ramping up that tension with each rep as we work our way through this minute. And with each rep, attempt to carve out new range. This is a great tool for adding stability around the end range of your ankle and helping you get more resilient and resistant to injuries. Ramp up that tension, a little more aggression here to finish. Last 10. We'll give some good force to get in through those corners. And we'll finish off this last rep. Let's take one more breath here. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope you enjoyed the session. Hope your hips and ankles are feeling great. If you liked the video, remember to like it and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.